Hello and welcome to a bonus episode of Free Sample of the Week. Fracture Sounds have just released their 17th blueprint being their series of free virtual instruments. We're on to Woodwind, the Woodwind Ensemble. With this we're getting staccatos, we're getting sustains, we're getting an absolute behemoth of a range which I'm loving, and then you've got this performance patch as well, and on top of all of that, 3 different mic positions. First, I'm going to walk you through the instrument, and then second, I'm going to show you a piece I've quickly thrown together using not only this, but their strings, their free string blueprint library, and their free brass blueprint library. Anyway, moving into Kontakt Player 8. It does require Kontakt Player 8, at least that is free. But out of the box, this is how the staccatos sound. As you can see, a behemoth of a range. You are getting a mix of a Piccolo, Flute, Clarinet, Oboe, Cor Anglais and Bassoon all blended together and playing their best bits on the ensemble. I just love that range. It sounds awesome. But now let's show you these mic positions, starting with our close. We'll rip the reverb off. I love the velocity sensitivity, but if you want to change it, you could do that in the back as well as the sample start time. But that's your close mic, perfectly close. That's all we need there. This is your mid. Nice and clean, beautiful sense of space. And last but not least, our far. Beautiful sense of space. Of course, you can mix in your reverb as well for more distance, and you've got a lot of flexibility there. You've got room automatically on, but there's a whole shimmer convolution reverb as well, so you can really get into the nitty gritty there if you really want to. Also, perspective knob if you don't want to be messing with mic positions. This is really nice to just get a sense of the space that you are working with. So that's the staccatos. Let's move on to our sustains. I love the range that you have there. Everything from pianissimo to a good forte. You can really make a melody sing, as you'll see with the piece in a moment. That's the sustains. Now the performance patch is all to do with velocity. You play lightly, you get a staccato. And you'll notice the dynamic controls the dynamic of the short instead of velocity as it was with staccato. Now the top end of the velocity gives you your sustain, so you can really get creative, and it is, as it says on the tin, a performance patch. I really like how they've implemented it on this blueprint, and again, I cannot believe that this is free. Of course, you've got color if you want to brighten it up a bit or muddy it a bit. Stereo width as well if you want to make it monophonic or wider. Nice to have those options, but that is it. Simple bread and butter woodwind, exactly what we need. Now moving into the piece that I composed. As I said, we've got the Woodwind Ensemble here. Quickly get everything up so I can show you So we've got our Woodwind Ensemble. You'll see I've split the sustains into 4 different patches. I feel it's really important with ensemble patches that even though, yes, you could do the whole thing in one, separate it out. You can see, probably just make out these lines in here, because you can do the dynamics different for every line. It'll add an extra sense of realism. Now with this top line here, you'll see as well that I have gone between the key switches. You've got key switches to move between the different articulations. So with the melody, I have moved between the staccatos and sustains. They work very well together. That's something that was very easy to do, and as you will hear in a moment. Also, we've got the staccatos on a separate line down there. I have put in some gentle brass. Right there again, number 12, gentle brass. It's a blueprint. All the instruments I've used are free, and they're all from the Fracture Sounds blueprint series. Next in here we have string trio. I've used the sustain low, and then I believe just some staccatos as well. Oh, sustain high. So again, I've split them into 2 here. I could have split them further, but we're focusing more on the woodwind, so I didn't as much here, but I wanted to have a low, so we could have a different dynamic for that and a different dynamic for the higher side of the strings. And then we have some pizzicato, but that's everything. You're practically your full orchestra. We're missing the percussion and piano, but there you have it. Let's listen to the piece as a whole. In terms of processing, I have added a little bit of EQ. I found it to be a little bit muddy, so up the top and bottom and down the mids ever so slightly, and then I have stuck a compressor on the Platinum Orchestral one, all available for free within Logic Pro X. If you don't have Logic, I'm sure there's something very similar within your digital audio workspace. I will, however, show you this piece with these turned off after I show you through it once. So without further ado, this is the little piece I put together. Very simple, and there's obviously more work I can do with it. For an out-of-the-box and quick sound, honestly, it sounds amazing. As you can see here, I'm going between key switches, we're going between shorts and longs, and that is just sustained, so the transition between them, you can almost get a legato out of it. I absolutely love it. I just love the expression, the character that comes through with these instruments. If I just solo all the woodwind, will pull off my EQ and compressor and just give you a sense of without everything else. Beautiful sound. You can see on the top one, the main melody, I have veered more on the close side in terms of mic. I've brightened it up with color. Looking at the other ones, this one we're more on the mid side, just your standard mix. You still got your reverb on there. Next, again very similar. I think the lows I did veer more towards the far mic, and our staccatos I stuck in the middle as well. But that's just something I quickly threw together. Obviously, I can definitely improve upon it, but I think it really reflects well on the ease of use of these sounds and the brilliant compositions you can compose with free virtual instruments. But what do you think of Fracture Sound's latest release? I absolutely love it. I can't wait to see what's next. I'm hoping it's percussion. I don't know, but then we really will have the full orchestra. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.